And welcome back to Chronicle. This morning we're talking about the progress and pains surrounding the Omaha streetcar. On October 21st, the Omaha Streetcar Authority signed off on an additional $21 million in costs. Public Works Department said it expected that. Well, now the city has also signed off on the final contracts for design and oversight. The Omaha Streetcar Authority says the actual rail construction is on schedule and expected to start in January, and hopefully then scheduled to wrap up in 2028. And joining me now to talk about this is Streetcar Authority Board Member Steve Jensen. Steve, thanks for joining us again talking about this.
Sure, thanks for having me.
First off, what's the status of the project?
We're on track. We've got a lot of work obviously going on. A lot of people see that as they drive through downtown. So, but we're on track with the contracts done and moving forward with construction.
So when you talk about construction, what exactly is the construction work being done right now?
Well, a lot of the work that's underway right now is on the utilities and sewers, the bridges over I-480. So, you know, that is a lot of pre-work, if you will, that has to be done before we begin the construction on the tracks and the system itself, which will begin in January.
What are you hearing from the contractors? Are there any curveballs, and nothing ever goes exactly as planned?
Sure. I mean, as you know, what we're working with really are water lines, sewer lines that date back to the 1880s and before. So there's a lot of old infrastructure there, and that's really part of the reason this has become a longer project. You know, when most cities do this kind of work, they just deal with the infrastructure that's underneath the tracks. In our case, we had older sewer lines and water lines, gas lines. The bridges, the state is going to be replacing all those bridges over I-480. So a decision was made some years back to just basically replace all of the water and gas lines in the right-of-way, rebuild the sewers, rebuild the bridges. So it's added about a year to the process, but when we're done, we won't have to worry about the water main breaks or sewer line collapses and so forth. All that work will be done.
So really, it's a matter of once you dig up the ground and dig up the whole area, you might as well fix everything that's under there?
Yeah, these are some of the oldest streets in the city and some of the oldest lines in the city. And yes, it's disruptive, obviously, and it's been a lot of work. But at the same time, we just didn't want to just do the minimum, open the streetcar, and then turn right around and begin reconstructing all of that infrastructure.
What are you hearing from businesses? Because we're hearing from businesses, particularly in Blackstone.
Sure. You know, the mayor, the Omaha Streetcar Authority Board, we're all very concerned about those businesses. And, you know, knowing that we had this additional work to do, we did something that we really haven't seen other cities do, and that is we worked with the chamber. They had some donors who were supportive of the project initially to help it get it off the ground. And so we worked with the chamber and their donors. They put together a business support package for those businesses that would be the most affected for the longest period of time. $1 million. Those landlords for those small businesses also agreed to add about $250,000 worth of additional benefit by lowering the lease rates for those small businesses. So, you know, it's the kind of thing that we knew would be helpful, and we really haven't seen other cities do it. So we thank the chamber and the donors for that effort and the help that they're giving to the businesses. You know, there are some other difficulties that we have. The money we are using for the project, the tax increment financing revenue, can't be used for that kind of thing. The city doesn't have a program for that when we do street, sewer, bridge work. And so it's really kind of a unique effort. And again, thanks to the donors and to the chamber for helping us with that.
Is it similar to what went on with the Leahy Mall, Gene Leahy Mall? Because that was a lot of private donated money.
Sure, the donors again in the case of Leahy Mall and the Riverfront, Heartland of America Park and Lewis and Clark Landing, $300 million plus the Luminarium, another $100 million. So I mean, those are things that again, we have wonderful donors in this community that really step forward and help out. Obviously another major project with a lot of construction, a lot of disruption, but it didn't have quite the same level of disruption as you have when we do all the work on the streets.
Gotcha. And do you think that'll be extended? Do you think there'll be more money needed to help the businesses?
You know, from this point forward, we will start to be more typical in terms of the construction of the project. Once we finish this utility work, which will be mostly done in the western part late this year. We'll be done with the work in the eastern part within a few months after the first of the year. As that utility work wraps up, the streetcar work itself on the system will be much more contained and a lot less disruptive in terms of traffic and so forth.
So your next board meeting is November 17th. There's a webinar with Public Works on Wednesday. What are you hearing from the public now? I mean, the whole argument of whether there should be a streetcar, that is gone, right?
Well, we're under construction, so it will be built. I think there are certainly the majority of the public, I think, still doesn't really completely understand the rationale behind it, which of course is to increase the level of development that is possible in the urban core. We can generate about $4 billion worth of development in a very small area. The tax revenue that's generated from that development benefits the whole city. So that's really the primary reason for the streetcar. And I think that once people see it in operation, I think they will find that it's going to help us a lot. You know, we're a metropolitan area of 1 million people. This is the kind of thing you see in cities with 1 million people.
Yeah, we saw it in Kansas City, and we're going to be talking to them in a second. Do you think it could expand any further west?
Well, I think we would love to be able to extend into the UNMC area and be able to connect to UNMC. We have a federal grant to look at extending the system to the north into North Omaha. Mm-hmm. So I think there are opportunities for extensions in the future. How we finance those would be the question. And
still, you're sticking to a 2028.
Fall of 2028 is our goal. So we hope to be in operation in the fall of 2028. You'll see cars running before that because we have to test them and test the system. So we will be running cars, but not with passenger service until later in 2028.
Nothing's going to disrupt that, knock on wood?
As the mayor said, his goal is to keep it on track. So we're hoping to hit that date.
Very good. Steve, I appreciate you coming in and clarifying some things and giving us a heads up on what's next.
All right. Thanks for having me.
You bet. And still ahead on Chronicle, like we said, the city says it's modeling Omaha streetcar after the one in Kansas City, the ones in Kansas City. So we're actually talking to reporters down there to see how that system has been faring over the last 10 years. We're going to get an inside look. First, what do you think about the streetcar, the efforts to put it in, the roads ahead, or tracks ahead, so to speak? Send us an email. It's news@ketv.com. Love hearing from you, and we'll be right back.